way I think about it today is, in the 1950s, conservatives loved cancel culture, a sort of cancel culture, right? In the 1950s, conservatives canceled communists. If you were a communist working in Hollywood, if you were a communist in the federal government, if you were a communist really in any segment of society, you could have your livelihood destroyed. You could face criminal penalties, as many communists did in the 40s and 50s. Today, there is also a cancel culture. You can also risk losing your livelihood if you're not a communist. So, I think of Black Lives Matter. BLM, we now all have to go along with BLM. You have to post the black square on social media. You have to wave the BLM flag. You have to say that you support BLM. BLM is an explicitly Marxist organization. They write about this in their About Us page. They've since taken the page down, but it was up for years. And so I think conservatives are really misguided when they say, well, I'm against censorship of any kind. First of all, that's ridiculous. No conservative has ever believed that. From the beginning of our country, whole swaths of speech have been off limits. Fraud, sedition, threats, obscenity. I mean, we were jailing pornographers at the federal level as recently as 2009. This is not some old-timey thing that was totally gotten rid of. Moreover, conservatives today, I don't think any conservative today would say that if John from accounting shows up to the water cooler and he's got a swastika armband on and he starts yelling Sieg Heil, hail the Fuhrer, I don't think anyone believes that he has a right to keep his job. I don't think anyone thinks it would be cancel culture if an avowed Nazi got booted out of work for quoting Mein Kampf or something. Obviously, we think there are standards and there should be consequences to speech. What this means, though, is political correctness is not this abstract battle between free speech on one side and censorship on the other. Actually, it's a more complicated battle. It's a battle between two sets of standards, the old standards that we want to conserve and the anti-standard of the left that wants to destroy our traditional American way of life. And if we want to fight back against it, we need to be willing to offer a substantive vision of politics. We need to be willing, actually, to say no.
Wow, I just added that to my book list, and I have to read this next week, or 2 weeks when it comes out, because that is definitely something that I think a lot of we see the people who just refuse to engage in cancel culture. Then you have the other people who kind of give in, and it's like there's got to be some sort of consensus here of where do we go forward in our country, because obviously none of us are for people just walking into movie theaters and shouting fire and causing chaos and having people being trampled to death. Like, there are consequences to some speech.